think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful.
Things just need to be left unsaid. I understand he's articulating like his point of view, like, look, this is all natural work. We're just working hard at it. We're doing X, Y, Z.
You always wonder, well, people say that, no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough. That there might be an excuse for that. So.
Stephen A. Smith points out Canelo Alvarez's noticeably bigger body ahead of the Terence Crawford fight, saying the size gap could heavily impact the outcome. He admits Crawford is the sharper technical boxer, but warns that if Crawford's punches can't shake Canelo, he'll face serious trouble. Smith's words highlight the concern about this physical mismatch and how much it could shape such a...
You know what, I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off him. He says it's a legacy fight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Fortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a villain.
Eddie Reynoso, the respected trainer of Canelo Alvarez, has addressed the long-running talk about performance-enhancing drugs in boxing. Reynoso has faced accusations in past years of letting fighters in his camp use banned substances, but he firmly rejects them. He explained that his boxers, including Canelo, take charge of their own food and nutrition plans, and he stays out of those choices. This point matters before the Crawford fight, since suspicions often rise whenever a fighter's body or performance changes suddenly. Reynoso insists his only focus is training, strategy, and mental sharpness, keeping away from anything
Eddie Reynoso says, starting now, I'll be working 100% with a team that I can supervise. I've let the boxers who have come to me to train have their own nutrition team. So all of these fighters popping because of their nutrition team, Eddie Reynoso is guilty by association, so you have to clear the shit up. That's what I was saying about Victor Conte when he came with his transparency. I'm doing the same now with Eddie Reynoso. He knows he has to clean that shit up. I suggest to Eddie Reynoso, if you're going to be 100% in control of the nutrition team, join Snack. They got hyper-exfoliated, futuristic, hydraulic chambers. Get Nello on Snack. Hey, brother, Nello on Snack with the futuristic 1.121 gigawatt. Brother, please.
Even though Eddie Reynoso has worked with about 7 fighters who failed drug tests during their careers, he stresses that none of this involves Canelo Alvarez. Reynoso says each case is different and makes clear that fighters themselves are responsible for what goes into their bodies. As for Canelo, Reynoso claims he has always stayed clean and has been extremely careful with everything.
Boxing corruption at its absolute finest, but how does it connect to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo team? So Rodriguez Jr. failed his test after the Galal fight. He set the record for the most punches landed in that fight. It even prompted people like Sonny Edwards during the fight to say, this is weird. And yet, he will not be punished. In fact, he'll be kind of rewarded because he's going to get ordered an immediate rematch for the WBC belt. The only thing he's got to do is have a 12-month probation period with random testing. Now, WB are doing this because they have ruled it proven unintentional use. It just so happened he took stuff that was extremely beneficial to his conditioning. Here is the WBC official statement. Feel free to pause this and read it. But what's it got to do with these two fine gentlemen? Well, Rodriguez Jr. is part of Canelo team, and he was rumoured to be managed by Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso since came out and said, no, I don't manage him, blah, 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 and he distanced himself. Now, why that's important is because Eddie Reynoso has been connected to, I think now, 6 or 7 fighters who have all failed their drugs tests. The rumour around town, now this is just a rumour, and definitely not true, is that these two may have smoothed things over with the WBC. Maybe used their position of power to get Rodriguez Jr. a bit of a lenient sentence, put it that way. Again, that's not true, I've just completely made that up. But what is unbelievable is a fighter nowadays can actually fail a drugs test and not be punished whatsoever. In fact, can be rewarded. Unbelievable.
Terence Crawford's strength coach has made a bold statement before the blockbuster fight with Canelo Alvarez. Speaking with total belief, he predicted that Terence will wear Canelo down and said their team is fully prepared. His comments show the strong confidence inside Crawford's camp that power, conditioning, and relentless work will be enough to beat Canelo's size and ring experience. He explained that training has been precise and well-organized, building strength and stamina to counter Canelo in every way. These claims have added more fuel to the hype, as fans now argue if Crawford's power at a bigger weight can truly trouble...
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm real good.
Some boxing analysts believe the ring size could play a key role in this fight. A standard or larger ring would give Crawford the space to use his speed, movement, and angles to keep Canelo away. Past fights showed that Canelo struggles against movers who use distance, like in his loss to Dimitri Bivol. Boxers who don't stand still and make him chase tend to throw off his rhythm. If the ring is big enough to let Crawford move freely, his chances of controlling the fight go up. But if Canelo cuts the space quickly, it could turn into a rougher, more physical...
If the ring is standard size, I think Bud beats his ass all around the ring for 12 rounds. If Canelo want to come forward and get the whooping, that's what he going to get. But that's the thing. In that last Skull fight, he didn't want to take the fight to Skull. So if Canelo don't come to fight, I don't want to see Crawford stand in the middle of the ring and take that type of risk. Because Crawford, he talk about retirement, but he can still go on after this. So he ain't got to take that punishment. He can run it back with him. I don't want Crawford forced into a dogfight with Canelo. No, I think he going to whoop his ass off 12 rounds.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray has given his take, calling this a great clash between two fighters with legendary resumes. He praised Canelo Alvarez for dominating across several divisions and gave equal credit to Terence Crawford for ruling at his weight. Gray's balanced view reflects the respect both fighters have earned in the sport. He added that this fight is about more than just titles, it's also about legacy.
I think we want to see the best fight the best. And even though there's been a difference in weight divisions here, I think that, people clamor for big names and big fights and guys who are great to fight each other. So being for the institution, and I am for the institution of boxing, I think Canelo has been great for boxing, and I think Terence Crawford has been great for boxing. So how this is going to play out exactly, I don't know. Terence Crawford is older, and Canelo has, twice as many rounds? So I don't know how that combination ends up. The weight difference, Canelo's going to be a bigger man and a bigger frame, and coming up in that weight. So I think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be at the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, and it's going to be filled up, and we're going to have a huge, huge night for boxing for the world to see.
One follow-up. Do you feel like Terence Crawford has the style to cause Canelo problems?
Does he have the style to what?
Cause Canelo problems.
Terence Crawford's a great fighter. Terence Crawford can give anybody problems. Whether or not he will, I don't have that crystal ball. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced doubt about Crawford's chances, mainly due to the size issue. Weight divisions exist for a reason, Sanchez explained, stressing that while skills matter, natural size and strength can't be ignored. He believes Canelo's punching power at his natural class will be a major test for Crawford, who is moving up to face him. According to Sanchez, even a boxer as talented as Crawford will struggle to handle...
As everybody has opinions, and my opinion is that I think Canelo will be too big for him. I think Crawford needed a little more seasoning, a little more seasoning of his weight, that is. He's had a year and hasn't had really any fights against those caliber fighters. The last fight he had a 154 pounder, moved up one division, and had a difficult time in a way that he wasn't dominating as he did in the lower divisions. And you talk about a guy in Canelo whose really only bad outing was at the Bivol fight. And Bivol, when I first talked about that fight, when they asked me, Bivol is a Gennady Golovkin just 15 pounds heavier. Same skills, maybe not the punching power, but very skilled. So anybody below 75, Canelo is dominated easily. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems to be sparring sessions for him. So I think that he does very well, and I think he wears Crawford out and wins a going-away decision. Crawford is an all-time great, obviously, but there's weight divisions,
Definitely as well. Abel, I'll leave it there, but I'll leave you with the final words. Any final words for the fans waiting to see you in the corner on Saturday night, my friend?
I'm very happy to be back. I retired for 3 years.
Legendary announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. has weighed in, saying that in most fights like this, the naturally bigger man usually wins. That gives Canelo Alvarez the clear edge. Still, Lennon noted that Canelo hasn't looked as sharp in some recent fights, which opens the door for Crawford. His even-handed view suggests that while size matters, form and fight strategy could shift.
For the super fight in September, how do you see that fight playing out? Who are you leaning towards? Who wins that fight?
Yeah, I tell you, I tend to always think the naturally bigger fighter is going to have an advantage. I'm just, with the Crawford moving up, he was a 135-pound champion. They had 40, fantastic champion. 47 then, and then 54. Is 68 too much? That's really a big jump. But I tell you, a lot of people I respect just say, no, he's going to be favored on that.
Wow.
So I don't know what to say, but Canelo's a great fighter and a smart fighter, and two fighters in the pound for pound best. Getting it on. That's nice for boxing.
And if Crawford is successful, where would you place him in the all-time greats? Does he belong in the top 10, or you've seen so many fighters come across?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. But certainly he should be considered. He should be in that discussion, and people could argue that either way for a while. But yeah, if he does it, you always wonder. Will people say that no, Canelo was going down and he had had enough? That there might be an excuse for that. So, we'll see. But it'd be quite a feat if he does beat Canelo. That'd be amazing.
Undefeated champion Shakur Stevenson has spoken with strong confidence in Terence Crawford's ability. He called Crawford the best in his division and said his talent is enough to beat even a bigger, stronger opponent like Canelo Alvarez. Coming from a proven fighter like Stevenson, those words carry weight. His support shows the respect Crawford commands from top boxers and proves that size alone won't decide the winner. Many fans agree, seeing Crawford as a real threat despite the size gap, making this one of boxing's most exciting and discussed matchups.
When you first heard about this idea, you first heard about it, what did you think of this idea of Bud going up to 68 to fight Canelo?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been putting it out since, I want to say, when he fought Sean Porter. Like back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was saying it.
Why were you saying it then? Like that was a few years ago? Was he 160 or 168 at that point? But why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style.
So tell me if you think I'm wrong here. Like, I might have been more confident after the Spence fight when he threw a lot of right hands in that fight, was aggressive. Against Madrimov, he didn't throw a lot of right hands in that fight. And I've been saying for years that the only way to beat Canelo Alvarez, throw right hands. Gennady Golovkin did it, almost beat him, probably should have beat him the first time around. Dimitri Bivol did it in their fight. Other guys tend to try to jab him to death. I don't think you can win fights
I was
jabbing
about to say,
Canelo Alvarez.
I disagree with you.
That's not surprising at all.
Former world champion Sean Porter has shared his close-up thoughts on Crawford's new frame before the Canelo showdown. After meeting him in person, Porter noticed Crawford's legs look powerful, thick, and balanced, showing heavy lower body work. He also pointed out that Crawford's added weight was spread evenly, proving careful diet and training. Porter said even with more size, Crawford's speed and agility remain rare for someone moving up. He believes that if Crawford keeps that quickness along with strength, it could give him an advantage over Canelo, especially if he uses movement to neutralize Canelo's power. Porter's insight backs the idea that Crawford's team has built a smart and disciplined plan to reach peak condition for this fight.
Now, you guys, one reason you give Crawford a good chance at winning this fight is talking about Canelo has to have his feet set to deliver his power shots. Crawford making him pick his feet up. At 38 years old, putting on 14 pounds to go from 54 to 68, 38 years old, do you think his legs will be able to have the advantage that people that are picking him and thinking he could win this fight, will they have the advantage that they believe he will have at 38, putting on 14 pounds to those legs?
I looked at my business partner Malcolm while we were there. I said, "Yo, look at his legs." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I said, "They're thick. They're in shape. They look very strong." If anybody out there that want to act funny about what I just said, that's my job as a former athlete, as an analyst. I have to analyze everything, right? So I have to analyze how's his weight now distributed across your body.
His body, right?
Is it distributed a little too much right here in the midsection? Are the legs too thick? And now I'm not seeing the muscle pop and things of that nature. The dude is doing all of the right things. They have something called the incline in Colorado Springs. So just in case you don't know, Colorado Springs is about 6,000, a little bit more than 6,000 feet in the air, right? So it's above the altitude. I don't know where Vegas is. Vegas is around 1,000, I believe.
Among boxing fans, many now argue that Terence Crawford will completely control Canelo Alvarez, with some saying it's not even a 50-50 fight. This has sparked debate over whether people are showing disrespect to Canelo's legacy. His supporters remind everyone that Canelo is Mexico's top fighter of his era, a champion in multiple divisions who has fought the biggest names in the sport. While Crawford is an elite talent, dismissing Canelo ignores his long list of wins against world-class opponents. This fight, then, is about more than...
So look, I'm going to get my prediction. I don't want this video to be long. So typically my videos be like 20, 25 minutes long. I get deep on this shit. I'm going to keep it real. I think y'all are out of your fucking minds. Y'all are out of your fucking minds. Look, if you want to say, I think Bud Crawford has the opportunity to win this fight, don't count him out. I don't disagree with that at all. I will say, don't never count Bud out. I will say that. Never count Bud out. If y'all say this is a 50-50 fight, I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah. You think it's a 50-50 fight? Y'all, people are saying it's not even going to be a 50-50 fight. That Canelo was going to get smoked. And I think y'all are out of your fucking minds. Canelo needs to walk out to Roy Jones. You must have forgot. Y'all, this is arguably not only the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, but this is arguably one of the greatest fighters ever. And y'all are acting like Canelo is some kind of fucking pushover. Like he's some kind of stepping stone. I've never seen nothing like it. I have never seen a boxer so accomplished get shitted on in every fucking prediction video I'm seeing. It's madness. My prediction right now, Canelo wins this fight. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all got shit fucked up. Bro, Canelo wins this fight.